Good afternoon, guys. Back again and going to talk a little bit this week about protein. A lot of people ask us, how much protein should I take? Do I need to take protein supplements? Are there alternatives? A couple of questions like that. So this is a topic where we could end up going down the rabbit hole. So I'm going to try to succinctly get at the start first. In our diet, we have three major, what we call macronutrients, the big things. Micronutrients are like your vitamin D, your cod liver oil, and, well, cod liver oil is not a micronutrient, but vitamins. Your D, your A, your B, the small things, they're the little things you need to keep going, but they're not by and large the constituent that keeps your body running, just for effective work. Macronutrients are the bigger things, are the important things, and the big guys are your fat, your carbohydrate, and your protein. And what they do by and large, and this is an overly simplistic overview, is your fat is needed for your basic hormone function. There are things called essential fats. You need a certain amount of fat in your system to function properly. You have a lot less, it's not going to do as well. Your carbohydrate, by and large, is like your energy source. That's why you'll see guys like athletes like triathlon and marathon guys will often have a large carb feed before their race to keep giving the energy to keep going, or the night before or something of that ilk. And the third one then is your protein. And your protein is very important for muscular recovery and building of muscle. All of them are important. In general, however, we notice a lot of people don't get enough protein. That becomes a bigger problem when you lose weight. If you lose weight and you're losing your muscle at the same time because you don't have enough protein in your system, it's not going to help. It's not going to help your look. It's not going to help your day to day. You're going to be a little weaker. And then what happens is, as a cycle, when people start to put the weight back on, they have less muscle than they did to begin with. So they'll end up with a little bit more fat. And that's how it happens a lot, that somebody goes on an extreme diet with an extreme low calorie, then they put their weight back on, and all of a sudden they seem to be heavier than before. And they're not imagining it, it's because they have less muscle than they did before the diet. Muscle burns a certain amount of energy through your day to day, so they have effectively less muscle than before. So even though they're the same, they're coming back at the same weight, they are burning less calories, so they put on more weight for the same amount of food. It becomes a kind of a vicious cycle. So getting enough protein in your system is quite important, especially if you're losing weight, to promote the muscles to actually rebuild and have the energy source for them. So the next question we often get on the protein subject is, okay, so we've established you need protein, that's what I should say, and the general recommendation is 1.5 gram to 2 grams per kilos of body weight, ballpark. So you're a 75 kilo person, you should be taking in the ballpark of 150 grams of protein throughout your day. Okay? Now, how do you get protein into your system? There's a couple of different ways. The most natural way, obviously, is fish, chicken, meats, eggs. Fish is particularly low in calories, has a lot of protein in it. Chicken and veg, it's like if you want to get extra protein, there's nothing wrong with getting some deli meat. Might not be perfect, but it's still meat, it's still protein. Another great trick I like to use is these guys. You can get these in Lidl. I'm noticing that I think this thing is mirrored on the camera. So this is a tuna salad, and this particular one is like a Mediterranean salad. It's €2. This guy is 290 calories and he has 24 grams of protein. So you're looking for 150 grams of protein in your day. That's a nice lunch. You've already got, we just bought 25 grams of protein out of that guy. So it's a nice chunk. The most important thing about this guy is, you think you don't have enough time to prepare food? That's fine. This guy lasts till 2021. So you can buy 100 of these, and maybe the boot of your car might be a bit hot, but you can leave them in a cupboard somewhere and there's no preparation involved, and even better than that, it comes with its own fork. That is the simplest lunch and the most low maintenance lunch you can get, and very, very good healthy choice. Is it perfect, free range, organic, comes from the Virgin Mother Earth and no pesticides and all that? No. But you know what? It's a hell of a lot better than a breakfast roll. The other thing we get asked a lot about is protein supplements. Do I have to take them? Do I need to take them? You don't have to take them. It makes things a lot easier to get the amount of protein into your system. They can be a nice way of getting recovery after a workout. So like an example of this one would be this guy here. This is the one me and Tom happen to like. We've tried a lot of different protein supplements over the year between us, and this Cytec seems to just have a very nice flavour, and it's a very good calorie profile. And what I mean by that is one scoop of this is about 110 calories ish, and it has 22 grams of protein. That's a pretty nice mix. So you can say it's 110 calories and you're getting a nice shot of protein out of it. Often we'd like to take that after a workout. It's very easy to digest because it'll be a liquid. It tastes good, so it's a nice little treat. Do be aware that this thing still has calories. It's 100 calories. So don't all of a sudden think, hey, this stuff tastes like a chocolate milkshake and I'm going to have 6 of them a day. Yeah, that's an additional 660 calories in your day. It can be a good way of putting on weight. Often what we say to people who want to put on weight is something like this with milk. Tastes bloody awesome and also can pack on some calories. So do be aware when you are looking for protein supplements that you get ones that are in line with what you want. If you're looking to give yourself a little bit of a protein supplement and lose a bit of weight, something around 100 to 110 calories with 25 grams of protein is where your supplement should be at. You'll see some supplements which can be 200 calories for a 25 gram portion. That's good if you want to gain weight. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just the right tool for the right application. And the next thing people always say about us is, oh, protein, it's bad for you and it's evil. It's like steroids and all this. Right, well, this is where we're going to try to cut the bullshit a little bit. This is whey protein, okay? It comes from milk. Now, if you think that this is toxic and bad for you, you might want to pick up the baby formula that you give to your child. Because when babies are bottle feeding, this is what you give them. Whey. It's in baby food. So if you're actually afraid of this, and then you go down to town and have alcohol, which is a toxic poison to the human body, you're being a hypocrite. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this. You don't have to eat it, but I don't particularly like people demonizing it as some kind of a steroid and being evil and bad for your health when they'll actually give it to their child without even thinking twice about it. And on the subject of steroids, there's some steroids that people take every day, hundreds of thousands of people, and nobody bats an eyelid. It's called the birth control pill. That is a steroid. But nonetheless, that's starting to go off on a rant. Probably already got there. So, what's a good recommendation? Well, we'll say if you were a 75 kilo person and you are looking to lose weight, looking to get down to something like 70 kilos, you want to be getting 140, 150 grams of protein a day. You can do that through your diet, you can do it through your meat, through your fish. Fish is very good, eggs are good. It's difficult to give a one catch-all diet over a video interview and haven't even met the person or know what they're willing to eat. If you want to figure this stuff out by yourself, using something like MyFitnessPal is a really, really good tool for this, if you're willing to put in the work. If you're not willing to put in the work, there's nothing wrong with hiring someone to do it for you. Getting a diet or going to a gym or going to a service where someone will give you advice on your food. But it does need to be tailored to you. So that's the basic about the protein. Do you need it? Yes, you need protein as a macronutrient. Yes, you do. You're probably not eating enough. It's hilarious that people say to me like, oh, I don't want to eat too much protein, but nobody has a damn problem with eating too much carbs, which is your chocolates and your breads. Don't worry about eating too much protein. It's not going to hurt you. It'll be hard to eat too much. Do you have to have the supplements? No, they're useful, but they're not necessary. Much like being a vegetarian, you don't have to eat meat. It is useful. You could argue it is necessary, but you can do well without it. And how much do you need to have? 1.5 to 2 grams is usually a good ballpark, making sure it fits your goals. So that's the basics on protein. As I said, it's it can be a long-winded subject, but don't be afraid to send us a message, to send a question. There's a lot of ways I could go on that for the next 20 minutes, and we just end up having this pool of information that is probably not going to help anyone. So, good to talk to you again, guys. We'll chat next week. If anyone has any other questions, don't be afraid to send them, put them in the comments, send them to the page, or even send them in the gym, like people do when they have to come in. So, best of luck, guys. Talk to you soon.